Well, David Large takes Brian's stylistic devices of playing directly to audience and working in broad physical comedy and examines the life of a stand-up comedian in a very non-naturalistic way. We have three people playing Alan. We have Brian Murray playing the older Dave Allen. We have Michael Bates playing the younger Dave Allen, and we have Tara Brannock playing the conscience of Alan, and she's constantly pushing them. And the more she pushes them, the more jokes they tell, but they're moving towards something very serious, which is going to be a reveal. And I don't want to say anything more about that.
He died around, I think it was 2004, and I began to wonder what would happen if he was alive today, watching what was happening in Ireland and England, and what kind of material he would come up with. So that was actually the germ of the play.
I'd be the Dave Allen that we're kind of used to seeing. Those of us who remember seeing him, that is available now on YouTube. The performer, the comedian, the man who kind of, in a way, changed the face of what it meant to be a comedian way back then. He was the first comedian, certainly, that I'm aware of, who didn't tell jokes. He started just by telling stories, and then the stories would get a little bit more kind of surreal, and he was totally committed to them.
So my character is called Devlin. So in a way, you could consider her as being the female aspect of his character, or the deeper aspect of his character that he tries to keep hidden. In terms of how that functions within the show and storytelling, she will provoke and challenge the other two Daves, and she won't let them get away with too much.
To come to someone who's fully formed, I think, is interesting in different ways. But to someone who's still finding themselves, there's a freedom in that, in the plasticity of trying on different aspects, I suppose, of who he is, and I think that's an interesting thing in and of itself, because I mean, I guess it's what we do as actors throughout our careers. You know, that's and it certainly is a part of what drew me to this career.
I first met Brian about 2006. I was running the Focus Theatre at the time, and I was interested in doing Picasso's Women, which we eventually did in 2007, and we won the Writers Guild of Great Britain Award for that, as well as producing Francis and Francis on the life of Francis Bacon. We then did Bankers, which was the final show to mark the 5th anniversary of the Focus Theatre. And then when I set up the new company, which is this one, Directions Out, I worked with Brian last year on In Search of Mr. B, which is about the life of Samuel Beckett. I'm working with Brian Murray and Michael Bates, who I worked with last year on our comedy In Search of Mr. B, and they have huge chemistry together, and they're both hilariously funny, which really added to our success of that show. This year we also have included Tara Brannock, who we also have a long working relationship with, who was in Bankers and trained at the Focus Studio along with Michael Bates. So there's huge chemistry between all of these actors, and I guarantee you will be laughing your head off at this show.